of the things that we've noticed is that places like the Trampery, like Space, like Centre for Fashion Enterprise, in their different ways, offer means of connecting the dots in some way. Yeah? Not just connecting the dots, but doing it in a particular way and also adding other sorts of value along the way in relation to business development and artistic and cultural development as well.
Alongside providing a facility that was useful for the local creative community, we'd also provided a visible access point for policymakers and people from larger businesses to help them interact with the creative talent that we were working with.
It's very interesting how we're changing our perceptions through the opportunity of working internationally with other designers. We have to create opportunities all over the world. So we've got 2 clients at the moment, Istanbul Fashion Week and Jakarta Fashion Week. We actually go out and do what we do, but working with young designers in those places, and we have learned so much.
People are what makes London the creative powerhouse that it is. What we're trying to find out is the practice of how they do what they do.
We do loads of work with schools. Class is our programme for bringing school children into studios. An artist I visited yesterday, for instance, has curator, artist and critic links in Korea, New York, Southend, and her work she makes in the Bahamas, Lanzarote, Italy, and she works with commercial, education and art sector and collectors.
Getting the right people together and curating communities through events and just through the way that we establish a certain culture, that's where a lot of the value comes. And we've seen that very strongly with the way that we engage large corporations as well, that once you've established a common language and a basic friendship and trust, then all kinds of business discussions happen.
The more we can get manufacturers to look at working in partnership with designers to solve problems, the more innovation we see coming through, and the more innovative are the products from the manufacturers, but also from the designers. So it really is a virtual circle that we really try and escalate those relationships as much as we can.
That's what we're interested in, trying to find out more about them, because there's a sort of whole lot of government policy and policy makers around saying, oh yeah, hubs are good or networks are good, but that's as far as they go. What makes them good? What makes them interesting? What makes them bad? So they're the things that we're interested in looking at.
Bringing together people from an arts background with people from a tech background. People on either side of that spectrum are fundamentally concerned with creativity and with ways of envisaging possibilities and then realizing them. They talk about them in completely different ways. We have the opportunity to start to bring together businesses that are in completely different worlds, but are actually strategically dealing with very similar questions.
I guess one of the things that we're trying to focus on is the way that knowledge exchange happens both in and across places of work. So if you only focused on what happened in the workplace, you'd miss part of it, because people's social life, people's entertainment life, etc., they all bleed into one another.
Last autumn, we did a project together with Space Studios and Metal House during the design festival to create a pavilion out on the Triangle where there were people from all of the 3 communities exposing their work. And I think there's lots more potential for people to get together and to collaborate and really to help the whole ecosystem here to flourish.